Tell them, land of the turtle dove, smiling faces showing love, historic sights galore. Come on, you can take a tour. Come on, let me take you. I have to take you home with me to a place where we could party, live life and be free. Me tell them hands, sing BVI, wave. Them give me some hands. Rock from side to side, represent the Virgin Isles. Hands, sing BVI, wave. Them to the sky, rock from side to side, represent the Virgin Isles. Van Dyke, Foxy Party.
Thank you very much. Can we remain standing, please, as we invite Pastor Ray Edwards from the Seventh-day Adventist Church, District 2, to come and give us the invocation, which will be followed by the Territorial song by Miss Abigail Christopher.
Shall we pray? Our great God, creator of heaven and earth, the one who spake and it was done, who commanded and it stood fast. We are so privileged to live in this part of the world where we do not experience the extreme of nature in terms of temperature. Never too cold, never too hot. We are thankful that we can live in an area of the world where we can witness your fingerprints and your footsteps. Indeed, this is nature's little secret. We thank you, O Lord, that we can be here today living in a country and living in a territory where we can worship in freedom, where there's a government that recognizes that you are the one who put them up and you are the one who can take them down. Daniel 2 reminds us, you put up kings and you take them down. We realize that they are not only accountable to the people, but they are also ultimately accountable to you. For they are your ministers. Romans chapter 13 and verse 1 tells us that we need to respect our leaders. 2 Timothy chapter 2 reminds us as well too that we ought to respect them, for they carry the sword. And so we gather here today, even as we celebrate the second year of this administration. We pray that you may continue to bless all of these leaders. Bless them with wisdom, uncommon to men, to direct and to shepherd your people in a time such as this. These are indeed challenging times, morally, economically, but we are thankful that you are a God who dispenses wisdom to those who are humble enough to ask for it. And so we pray your blessing upon this administration and upon this territory. And may, O Lord, as we meet today, O Lord, to celebrate the second year, we pray that you may continue to guide them and help, O God, that they may hear that still small voice behind them saying, this is the way, walk in it. Thank you, O Lord, for your presence, that you have promised to be with us when we recognize you and we realize that you are the one who have created us and we are ultimately accountable to you. Thank God that we can live in such a territory, and may, O Lord, we never take this for granted, we ask. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Out of the huts of history's pain, our ancestors bled and died. But with strength and willpower we overcame to restore the Virgin Islands' pride. To preserve the beauty, we devised a plan to obtain ownership of your precious land. Educating your people is the golden key to maintain the success of this territory. Oh, how radiant are your daughters, and how wealthy are your sons. Your beaches boast your beauty, and your success is second to none. Green and brilliant are your hillsides, they replenish our hopes and pride. Oh, beautiful Virgin Islands, your qualities can never be denied. How beautiful Virgin Islands, your qualities can never be denied.
Ladies and gentlemen, please sit. Good afternoon. My name is Carrier Christopher, your Acting Director of Communications for the Government of the Virgin Islands. It's a beautiful day here in Territorial, Maria's by the Sea, to be specific. I want us to give a huge round of applause to one of our local talents, one of the best songs I've heard in terms of singing the Territorial song, Miss Abigail Christopher, a young lady, young Virgin Islander. She sung beautifully. I will turn the mic over at this point to the Permanent Secretary for the Premier's Office, Mrs. Carolyn Stout-Igwe. She will give the official welcome. As you know, these types of things that you have to have every I dotted, every T crossed. So put your hands together for our Permanent Secretary for the Premier's Office, Mrs. Carolyn Stout-Igwe.
Good evening again. Premier and Minister of Finance, Honourable Dr. Natalio D. Wheatley and Mrs. Wheatley, Honourable Julian Fraser, Honourable Vincent Wheatley and Mrs. Wheatley, Honourable Dr. Carl Dawson, Honourable Lorna Smith, OBE, and Dr. Orlando Smith, OBE, Honourable Luz Hart Smith and Mr. Dave Smith, Senior Managers, Heads of Departments and Statutory Boards, other distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Y'all awake? Good evening. I have the simple task of welcoming you to this evening's territorial address. So welcome. Thank you for responding to the invitation that was extended to you. That's not a fire alarm. Do you recognize the song? That's right, the song of the school bell. School has been in session. We are at the end of the second marking period. It has been a period filled with varying emotions, so we can therefore expect mixed results. Students had to take many subjects. And of course, I'm sure you will understand that with so many subjects, all of them could not be given the same level of attention. A survey among students shows that some of the more popular subjects were agriculture and fisheries, tourism, financial services, payroll tax, climate change management, civil engineering, public health, public policy, and sports administration. So what did the students say about subjects taken during this period? Some reported that some subjects were very difficult, as they had to consider the local, regional, and international context. Others indicated that they had to burn the midnight oil to meet some of the tight deadlines. Some students indicated that despite the extended amount of time, effort, and resources put in for some subjects, They just could not get every assignment completed. Time was not in their favor. Another group commented that for some group assignments, some persons did not pull their weight. Thus, the final submissions were not as they would have liked. As with every school, there were some high flyers. Some chose to focus on the quick wins rather than the full assignment. As parents, guardians, and concerned citizens, we are here today because we are eager to hear how the students have performed. Ladies and gentlemen, students, as the teacher gives his report this afternoon, feel free to applaud when you hear something good about your favorite subject. If you feel the students did not do as well as you thought they should have done, don't get too hard on them. Encourage them, like a good parent, to do better next time, or better yet, to do your best at all times. The grades are in. No changes can be made at this stage. When the teacher comes, give him your undivided attention. Again, welcome.
That applause sounded very mild. I think that Mrs. Stout Igwe got an A+. Please give her a big round of applause for really setting the bar very high. Thank you, P.S. Igwe. Today is going to be primarily about the Honourable Premier. As P.S. Igwe said, this is his time to give his reports. And you will be the teachers here today. It's going to be an exciting day. You will hear his voice and his voice only when it comes to the report. And there's no one better to introduce the Honourable Premier than Mr. Kedrick Malone, Governance Reform Delivery Manager and Chief Advisor for the Premier. Please give him a round of applause.
I didn't do that. I adopt the protocol already established, and I say good evening. It is my distinguished pleasure to introduce our Premier this evening. I've had the pleasure of working with the last 5 Premiers, and I must say he blends all of them, the best qualities of all of them. The Honourable Natalio D. Wheatley is a distinguished leader, scholar, public servant dedicated to the progress and prosperity of the Virgin Islands. A native of Fat Hogs Bay, Tortola, he has served as Premier since 2022, bringing a visionary approach to governance, economic resilience, and cultural preservation. Dr. Wheatley's academic credentials are extensive. He holds a PhD in languages and cultures from the School of Oriental and African Studies at the University of London, a master's degree in literary studies from Purdue University, and a bachelor's degree in English from Clark Atlanta University. His early education was rooted in the Virgin Islands, having graduated from BVI High School, which is now the Elmo Stout High School. Before entering politics, Dr. Wheatley dedicated over a decade to shaping young minds as a lecturer at H.L. Lavity Stout from 2007 to 2019. His professional journey also included roles as an art teacher and teacher's assistant at Enos Adams Primary School, underscoring his lifelong commitment to education and youth development. Elected to the House of Assembly in 2019 as the representative for the 7th District, Dr. Wheatley quickly distinguished himself as a decisive and principled leader. He was appointed acting Deputy Premier in 2019 and formally assumed the role of Deputy Premier in 2020. As Minister for Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, and Fisheries and Agriculture, he spearheaded policies that enhanced educational standards, safeguarded cultural heritage, and diversified the economy. As Premier, Dr. Wheatley leads with steadfast commitment to sustainable development, economic strength, and cultural empowerment. His leadership spans multiple critical portfolios, including the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Sustainable Development, Ministry of Financial Services, Economic Development and Digital Transformation, and the Premier's Office. Through strategic governance, he continues to champion policies that position the Virgin Islands for long-term success while preserving its rich history and natural beauty. Beyond his governmental responsibilities, Dr. Wheatley represents the Virgin Islands on the international stage, engaging in Commonwealth Parliamentary Association conferences, diplomatic forums, and global policy discussions. His passion for nation building is complemented by his love for sports, poetry, music, history, and agriculture. And if you've never heard the Premier deliver a poem, I aspire to be a poet, but he is a PhD. I'm still working on my GED. He really has a talent for poetry. A devoted family man, Dr. Wheatley is married and a proud father of 2 children. His unwavering dedication to the Virgin Islands is reflected in his relentless pursuit of a future defined by progress, unity, and resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our Premier, representative for the 7th District, Premier and Minister of Finance, Honourable Dr. Natalio D. Wheatley.
Please sit, I'm not the Premier, I promise. It won't be a BVI function if I didn't have to say that somebody is blocking. So I am so sorry. PY1420, a black Havel. Somebody needs to leave urgently. Put your hands together for the Premier, Honourable Dr. Natalio Wheatley.
Greetings. Greetings, everyone. I'm so appreciative of everyone coming and supporting this event, listening to this special address. Let me acknowledge our Deputy Premier, Honourable Julian Fraser, other members of Cabinet. Thank you. I would like to acknowledge, perhaps, I should say Honourable Vincent Wheatley and his lovely wife. I also want to recognize Minister responsible for Tourism and Culture, Honourable Lucard Smith, and your husband, Minister responsible for Financial Services and Trade, and Dr. D. Orlando Smith, a former Premier. I want to acknowledge our Financial Secretary, our permanent secretaries, heads of department, other senior public officers. We have heads of statutory bodies, and all you who have gathered here for this special occasion. I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the First Lady of the Virgin Islands, Carolyn Shallow Wheatley. Thank you for being here. Yes. And all others who have gathered here. I'm especially pleased to welcome our young people from the following schools who are in attendance. Cedar International School, St. George's Secondary, the Virgin Islands Technical Institute, Seventh-day Adventist School. Students, please stand and be recognized. You can sit. We are very pleased to have you with us this evening. All you will hear this evening is for your future and the future of this territory. We hope it will inspire you to aspire to public service and at a minimum pique your curiosity to learn more about how government works and tell your friends about what you learned. It is with immense pride and a profound sense of accomplishment that I stand before you today to deliver this territorial address. As we commemorate the second anniversary of our administration, we reflect on the remarkable journey we have undertaken together. This year's address continues under the overarching theme of building a sustainable nation, rooted in the 2023 National Sustainable Development Plan, titled Vision 2036, Building a Sustainable Virgin Islands. I would like to encourage our educators to obtain a copy of the NSDP and utilize it as an educational tool to inform the next generation of leaders on how we are securing their future by building a sustainable nation. This is a commitment I take very seriously. I firmly believe that we have an obligation to honor the legacy of our forebearers by passing on the benefits they bestowed upon us: land ownership, education, and independent spirit, resilience, and all that characterizes a Virgin Islander. In my 2025 budget address, I introduced the theme of laying the blocks of success as part of our journey to build a sustainable nation, using the NSDP as our blueprint. The 2025 theme, alongside the 2024 theme of planning, priorities, and progress, forms the foundation for today's territorial address, which encompasses May 2024 to April 2025. This period covers the second year of my administration, and I am honored to share with you the accomplishments we have achieved for the territory of the Virgin Islands during this transformative year. The past year has been characterized by resilience, innovation, and an unwavering commitment to improving our beloved Virgin Islands. We have overcome significant milestones across numerous sectors, each contributing to a stronger, more vibrant, and sustainable future for all residents. Today we will explore the tangible progress made in strengthening and diversifying our economy, including bolstering our vital tourism sector and advancing our financial services, empowering our youth through innovation and technology-driven learning, ensuring a healthy population, and supporting our most vulnerable, fostering crucial international relationships and partnerships, and developing an essential infrastructure that underpins our society. We'll also highlight our ongoing commitment to environmental stewardship and the principles of good governance that guide our actions. All these achievements align with our program, policy, and legislative goals reflected in the 2025 budget address and throne speech, guided by the 6 national goals of the NSDP: economy, infrastructure, health and wellness, education and learning, environment, and good governance and leadership. This is not merely a report of figures and initiatives. It is a testament to the spirit and determination of the people of the Virgin Islands and a commitment to building a sustainable nation. One of the highest priorities of a government is to ensure that its economy is in good health. The state of the economy affects all sectors: the viability of businesses, residents' ability to secure employment, the affordability of goods and services, and the government's ability to deliver on its obligations to the citizenry. During my government's second year in office, just as in the first year, considerable attention was devoted to the economy of the Virgin Islands, and are two main economic drivers of tourism and financial services. Over the past year, the Virgin Islands tourism sector has demonstrated remarkable resilience and innovation. In 2024, we welcomed more than 1 million tourist visitors, the second time in BVI's history that we have crossed the 1 million mark, and the highest arrival since the 2017 hurricanes. Yes, you can give that a round of applause. The Central Statistics Office data confirms that total tourist arrivals in 2024 surged to 1,092,139 guests, a substantial 9.8% increase compared to 2023. This impressive growth was witnessed across all visitor categories, demonstrating the broad appeal of our islands and the immense efforts we have invested in this crucial sector. Historic record high visitor arrivals were witnessed in both cruise ship visitors and day trippers, where we recorded 768,293 passengers and 17,970 visitors respectively. Overnight visitors had a remarkable 16.7% boost, with a total of 305,876 guests. This remarkable recovery and growth are a testament to the hard work, dedication, and collaborative spirit of everyone involved in our tourism industry. Let me take this opportunity to recognize one of our industry partners for the outstanding recognition they have brought to the territory and to their establishment. Oil Nut Bay has been recognized for having the best private villa in the Caribbean by Modern Luxury. Let's give them a round of applause. I take this opportunity to congratulate and thank the management and staff of Oil Nut Bay for their achievement. Enhanced airlift capacity is vital for our tourism sector's growth. In October 2024, Caribbean Airlines began connecting the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport with Puerto Rico and hubs in Antigua, Barbados, and Trinidad and Tobago. LIAT 2020 started daily regional flights to Beef Island in December 2024. American Airlines Direct Miami service launched in June 2023 and often operates up to 6 flights daily. Demand for direct access to the BVI remains high, and we are exploring more route options. The long-anticipated business case for the airport expansion at the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport has been completed, and the way is clear for the project to take off and take our tourism product to new heights. Increased airlift is good news for putting heads in beds, and over the past year there have been significant developments in the accommodation sector. The reopening of the reimagined Peter Island Resort in December 2024, with new international partnerships such as the membership with Preferred Hotels and Resorts Legend Collection, further elevated our tourism product and represents a significant investment in our economy and a testament to the confidence in the BVI as a premier destination. From all indications, Peter Island has rapidly returned to its high demand position as one of the BVI's signature resorts. With the return of all of our major resorts and escalating demand for accommodation driven by the increase in airlift, there's an opportunity to grow the sector. I'm therefore pleased that we can move Prospect Reef closer to reality. We received a strong response to the expression of interest request, and bids are currently being evaluated. We envision a 4-star or higher rated hotel with at least 150 rooms and a modern conference facilities capable of hosting up to 300 delegates and offering exceptional service and amenities catering to leisure and business travelers. Bitter End has completed a substantial amount of construction and continues to form an important part of the tourism product in the Gorda Sound area. And Byers Creek has built a new restaurant as they prepare to embark on an exciting new development project. Other new developments and expansions are in the pipeline and will result in significant expansion of the accommodation sector, which will align with our plans for airport expansion. For instance, in March 2024, my government signed a development agreement with Joma Properties Limited to build a new 65-room boutique hotel, complete with restaurant, bar, retail shop, fitness center, and more, as well as an upgrade of the marina facilities in the Port Purcell area. The VI Tourism Summit in January 2025 at Peter Island Resort was a major success, engaging over 330 stakeholders from public and private sectors to shape the BVI's tourism vision. Building on this, we are finalizing consultations for a comprehensive national tourism policy, reflecting our people's aspirations. We plan to publish by June and issue requests for a proposal for a 10-year national tourism plan to provide a 10-year roadmap for the Virgin Islands tourism development. A new vision and plan for tourism requires a new legislative and organizational support structure to drive its development. That is why my government established a Ministry of Tourism and began staffing it over the past year. The Ministry of Tourism will now be responsible for the management and development of the industry, and the Tourist Board will be responsible for its marketing and the visitor experience. The structure will allow the development of tourism as a stronger economic pillar and revenue driver, creating an enabling environment to significantly increase tourism's contribution to the gross domestic product of the Virgin Islands by facilitating the integration of other sectors of the economy into the tourism sector. This tourism transformation has already begun in the yachting sector, where we are near completion of its legislative, management, and revenue overhaul, with amendments to the 33-year-old Commercial Recreational Vessel Licensing Act. We expect to significantly increase revenue collections from the yachting sector, which represents about 60% of our visitor arrivals. The amendments will modernize and promote fair and equitable fee structures and operational measures. The fees and measures were agreed after consultations with our key stakeholders, including our local industry and our neighbors in the USVI. Over the past year, my government has responded to the need to improve our tourism infrastructure and support the industry. We implemented a beach management framework that resulted in the installation of showers at Long Bay Beach, Beef Island. We completed the Trellis Bay Welcome Center, a much needed facility that enhances the visitor experience at one of our busiest gateways. We launched a digital embarkation and disembarkation card system, which is completed online, improving the traveler experience and enhancing the department's data collection capabilities to support border security and tourism management, and established a small vessel portal for electronic travel authorization for the yachting sector. All of these measures have enhanced the visitor experience and are part of the responsibilities that will be managed by the Ministry of Tourism. Over the past year, my government has implemented plans to diversify the visitor experience and increase the economic participation of Virgin Islanders in the tourism sector by placing greater emphasis on cultural events and activities. We envision the space behind the administration building as an event venue and have already witnessed successful events there that generated considerable economic activity. Consideration for its multi-use for festivals, events, and hosting activities for cruise tourism are being explored, along with creating a permanent amphitheater. In August 2024, the Virgin Islands Shipping Registry transitioned into the Virgin Islands Shipping and Maritime Authority. This strategic move positions the BVI to diversify, expand, and enhance revenue streams from the maritime sector by immediately establishing a globally competitive maritime flag for the registration and administration of vessels in the territory, and having the BVI red ensign flag on vessels in various ports throughout the world. This is a natural extension of our maritime sector and complements our tourism and financial services sectors to give BVI premium position as a one-stop shop for our target demographic. VISMA has recently been successful in achieving BVI flag approval for the benefits and advantages of the yachts engaged in trade designation with critical Mediterranean port destinations. In the area of financial services, my government continues to work with all our global stakeholders to ensure that we maintain our competitive edge in our key markets and sectors, and a robust and secure operating environment that meets clients' needs in an increasingly competitive and challenging regulatory environment. In our core business of international companies, we continue to maintain our position as a leading offshore corporate domicile with over 360,000 companies as of the 31st March 2025. The number of new incorporations in Q1 2025 increased by 13.9% when compared to the number of new incorporations in Q4 2024. In the past year, we made legislative amendments to the Financial Services Commission's regulatory framework to address the CFATF Mutual Evaluation Report. Key changes included updates to the Financial Services Commission Act, the Anti-Money Laundering and Terrorist Financing Code of Practice, and sector-specific legislation such as the Securities and Investment Business Act, the Banks and Trust Companies Act, and these reforms enhance regulatory effectiveness and alignment with international standards. In October 2024, the Ministry for Financial Services led the Virgin Islands delegation, which included representatives from the Attorney General's Chambers, the Financial Services Commission, and the Financial Investigation Agency, to the Illicit Finance Dialogue in Miami, Florida, a senior officials meeting of the United Kingdom and the Overseas Territories. The Virgin Islands hosted and served as co-chair of the inaugural IFD held in 2023 before transitioning the co-chair responsibilities to the Cayman Islands earlier this year. This high-level forum focused on combating illicit finance, including regulating high-risk industries, supervising crypto assets, and enhancing transparency around financial structures like beneficial ownership. Discussions also covered the FATF recommendations, sanctions enforcement, and cooperation mechanisms between authorities. The delegation participated in sessions on risk-based supervision of trust and corporate service providers, investigating cross-border financial crimes, and managing virtual asset risks. Additionally, we launched the Virgin Islands' first AML-CFT public awareness campaign in early 2025, featuring the very popular Riley Wright, an animated character promoting compliance, responsible financial behavior, and the territory's AML-CFT framework. Riley represents the core values of responsibility, integrity, governance, honesty, and transparency. In late 2024, my government developed a draft policy on rights of access to the Register of Beneficial Ownership, setting out a proposed framework to enhance transparency in line with evolving international standards and best practices. Following an extensive public consultation process, which concluded in March 2025 and generated substantial feedback from a broad range of stakeholders, the final policy and legislative amendments are now being refined. Stakeholder engagement is scheduled for June 2025 to support smooth and effective implementation. The final version will preserve privacy safeguards, clarify who may access information, the conditions under which access may be granted, and establish mechanisms to promote individuals at risk of serious harm, such as fraud, harassment, or kidnapping. Once enacted, this framework, representing a major policy milestone, will enhance the territory's beneficial ownership regime in a manner that is responsible, proportionate, and consistent with our constitutional principles and international obligations. During 2024, the Virgin Islands was subject to major reviews conducted by the Global Forum, namely the supplementary review concerning the exchange of information upon request, standard, and the automatic exchange of information effectiveness review. This included on-site visits. The EOIR supplementary review was concluded towards the end of 2024, and the BVI, despite achieving compliant or largely compliant on 8 out of 10 elements, continues to be rated as partially compliant, with a focus currently on addressing the deficiencies surrounding accounting records. The AEOI effectiveness review is ongoing, and the conclusion will be published later in 2025. The BVI remains compliant or in good standing concerning the implementation of the economic substance regime, the country-by-country reporting regime, and the other minimum standards of base erosion and profit shifting. The International Tax Authority plans to introduce a payment portal for fees related to the BVI financial accounting reporting system and to enhance compliance for financial institutions. They are also implementing amended common reporting standards, with all early adopters required to ensure these changes are in place for the first exchange in 2027. Additionally, the ITA is considering the crypto asset reporting framework to start exchanges in 2028, as committed by the government of the Virgin Islands. The ministry actively supports BVI Finance in promoting and developing the financial services industry, aligning marketing efforts with national policy. Last year, it backed several initiatives to raise BVI's profile in international markets, including branding activities, business development campaigns, conference participation, and major outreach events like the Asia Trade Mission, enhancing global positioning and stakeholder confidence. In May 2024, a high-level delegation led an Asia Trade Mission, reaffirming BVI's commitment to financial services, financial markets in Asia, which contributes about 60% of its financial services business, particularly from China, Hong Kong, and Macau. They visited major hubs like Hong Kong, Shenzhen, Beijing, Shanghai, and Singapore, engaging hundreds of professionals and officials, highlighting BVI's role as a super connector. In February 2025, I led a small delegation to the Asia-Pacific region, visiting Hong Kong, Macau, and Malaysia to strengthen financial and diplomatic ties. In Macau, the world's leading gaming capital and a long-standing BVI partner, we have formed financial services links, particularly the significant role BVI entities play in facilitating $1.4 billion in inward investment, and will continue to explore opportunities with the Gaming Commission to support the development of the BVI's gaming industry. Our visit to Malaysia marked a historic milestone with the establishment of diplomatic relations and included engagement with the Labuan Financial Services Authority and Malaysia's Ministry of Trade and International Investment Authority, as we aim to expand BVI's presence in the rapidly growing financial hub. I also visited partner universities in the BVI's Asia Abroad program, where 7 Virgin Islanders are currently pursuing full-time studies. The program, which I helped to establish in 2021 during my tenure as Minister of Education, continues to receive my full support as Premier. In addition, I met with university chancellors in Macau to explore further educational opportunities for Virgin Islanders. My government remains committed to advancing our agriculture and fisheries sectors, recognizing their vital role in food security and economic diversification. We have undertaken significant work on our strategic plan for the sector and are collaborating with farmers and fishers to execute aspects of it to support their businesses. In 2024, we entered into a contract with Trojan Design and Development Limited for the design and construction management of a food processing complex. We initiated training and research with Blue Abacus, deploying and collecting underwater footage using baited remote video to gain a better understanding of our marine environment. Additionally, we enhanced the aesthetics of the exhibition grounds in Paraquita Bay by demolishing structures damaged by Hurricanes Irma and Maria in 2017. We have developed comprehensive plans to build a reservoir to serve the farming community of Paraquita Bay, providing essential water resources to boost agricultural production. Meanwhile, we have procured equipment to tap into the natural wells in Paraquita Bay. The designs for the food processing complex are advanced, and construction is expected to commence in the fourth quarter of this year. The allocation of lots for farming on Anegada and Virgin Gorda is imminent, as is the finalization of policies on grants and water. Several initiatives aimed at assisting and empowering food producers are under development and will be implemented soon. These include financial assistance and access to microloans for farmers and fishers, training in animal and plant health, farm management, container farming, and vertical farming. I'm encouraged by school programs promoting gardening, which teach the importance of farming and food security. I commend Imagination Academy VI, Francis Lettsam Primary School, the Willard Wheatley Primary School, Enos Adams Primary School, Ebenezer Thomas Primary School, and the Ivan Dawson Primary School for their impactful gardening initiatives and innovative contributions to education and agriculture. Please give them a round of applause. The students' hands-on work in growing produce and supplying local restaurants is impressive. This model of sustainability and entrepreneurship embodies the farm-to-plate spirit and promotes self-sufficiency in our territory. Over the past year, my government has worked to create an enabling environment that facilitates the development and growth of businesses. Our objective is to create a more supportive and business-friendly environment that allows businesses to thrive. In 2024, my government introduced a new micro, small, and medium enterprises policy, which included the MSME grant program. This initiative offers grants to help local businesses overcome financial barriers and support their growth. Eligible businesses wholly owned by Virgin Islanders now have access to funding for equipment purchases, inventory management, marketing, employee development, and technology acquisition. Over the past year, we have helped businesses to expand, start and diversify their businesses, and to get them on the path to growth and success. We plan to continue this commitment. This is the case with Menenai Fashion Brand and owner Mrs. Marquita Turnbull Smith. She received an MSME grant and used the funds to purchase high-quality fabrics, labels, and other materials to produce high-quality clothing. She also purchased equipment to produce her own high-quality images for marketing on her website, developed with the funding. She then launched social media campaigns to reach her market. This is just one example of the MSME grant program at work. Through the Department of Trade, Investment, Promotion, and Consumer Affairs, my administration has been in negotiations with the H. Lavity Stoutt Community College and an international university to ensure continuous flow of innovative knowledge into the territory. This knowledge will be used to enhance the competitiveness of the local businesses and explore new underdeveloped sectors with the focus of diversifying the economy. Negotiations are in the final stages. The Trade Department is also establishing a mentorship program, which will be launched in June 2025. Established entrepreneurs will be able to provide guidance and expertise to upcoming businesses, with a strong focus on improving the success rate of startups. Work is progressing to reestablish the Consumer Affairs section of the Trade Department, as well as an innovation hub where entrepreneurs can be trained in areas such as marketing, fiscal management, human resource management, and customer experience management. Within this innovation hub, we are creating a business establishment unit that will assist with such things as logo design, business plans, and financial statements. This initiative, in collaboration with financial institutions, aims to improve the success rate of entrepreneurs securing loans. Efforts are also being made to expedite the processing time of trade licenses. The government has been working on revisions to the Virgin Islands Investment Act 2021, which will transfer authority to the Minister from the Trade Commission. This centralization of authority is aimed at making changes that align trade policies with broader economic development goals, ensuring a strategic approach to fostering investment and economic growth in the Virgin Islands. The plan is to create a stronger institutional policy and operational foundation among the government agencies responsible for trade before the re-establishment of the Trade Commission. This will ensure that when established, the Trade Commission can function efficiently with a strong supporting policy, operational structure, and mandate. Substantial amendments are also being made to the investment and residency programs to create a more responsive and agile regulatory environment capable of adapting to the dynamic needs of both local and international investors. A two-tier approach process for foreign and local investors will be introduced, which will be seamlessly integrated into a one-stop service approach. The Director of Investment Promotion is on board to spearhead and drive the launch of our investment promotion agency that will promote a more business-friendly, efficient, and proactive one-stop support service for local and foreign investors. Robust infrastructure is essential for a high quality of life, elevated standards of living, and economic investment. Over the past year, the government has diligently worked to restore and enhance our infrastructure despite the challenging aftermath of the 2017 catastrophic hurricanes, unstable global economic conditions, and severe financial limitations resulting from the destruction of the territory's infrastructure in 2017. It is important to note that we did not receive substantial financial assistance comparable to our counterparts who benefited from significant capital grants. Despite these obstacles, the government made the unprecedented decision to borrow $100 million, resulting in notable improvements in infrastructure services throughout the territory. 6 miles of road on Tortola has been resurfaced with asphalt. Key areas addressed include Beef Island, East End, the Ridge Road, Joe's Hill, Prospect Reef to Dove's Bottom. On Virgin Gorda, road rehabilitation in North Sound is progressing in phases with a complete section near the Robinson O'Neill Primary School. On Jas Van Dyke, ongoing works include the back road project in the vicinity of the primary school and the second phase of repairs on the undermined East End Road, commencing momentarily, if it has not already begun. The Public Works Department conducted critical road rehabilitation and drainage works across the territory. Notable projects included road repairs in Foy Hill, Sabbath Hill, and Bruce Bay, as well as sidewalk improvements near Cedar School and the Attorney General's chambers. Drainage rehabilitation was also completed on the main road between the R.T. O'Neill Administration Complex and Maria's by the Sea. Major rehabilitation works, including the casting of a 2-lane roadway and retaining wall, were executed in East End, Jas Van Dyke. A section of roadway in King Garden Bay was reinstated with reinforced concrete, and upgrades were also made in front of Ebenezer Thomas Primary School. The Water and Sewage Department improved service delivery by launching its payment portal, boosting revenue collection by 30%, upgrading pipelines to resilient HDP materials in critical areas, and recommissioning the Butte Point wastewater treatment plant. Efforts are underway for temporary repairs to the Fort Hill tanks. A tender has been issued for reservoir repairs at Minton Hill in Virgin Gorda and Fort Hill, Sabbath Hill, Hannah Hill, and Balsam Gut in Tortola. A leak detection and remediation assessment completed through the RDA has led to the ongoing equipping of the Water and Sewage Department to continue the remediation process. Work on the Eastern Longlook sewage system is ongoing. Key highlights include the following. The wastewater treatment at Paraquita Bay will be evaluated and commissioned by July. Equipment for the sludge treatment facility is being received. I want to clap for that myself. The Long Swamp Pump Station, let me say thank God. The Long Swamp Pump Station and main lines will be completed by September. A contract for connecting gravity lines for the Long Swamp Pump Station has been signed and will work starting by the end of June. Household interconnections in Longlook, Greenland, and Fatags Bay will start in Q3 2025. Tenders will be issued in June. Residents will be notified to apply for connections. Pumping of sewage from the pump station to the treatment plant is targeted for Q4 2025. This will allow households to have full service for the first time. Sewage lines from Palmtown to Long Swamp are under tender evaluation, with work commencing in Q3 2025. The BVI Electricity Corporation made pivotal progress in 2024 toward modernization, sustainability, and resilience. The Anegada Hybrid Renewable Energy Project progressed to the commissioning stage, and the Solar Technology Energy Program, or STEP, was launched to reduce consumer bills and bolster renewable energy use. The submarine cable to Jahphix Dike was fully reinstated. Training initiatives upskilled technical staff, while a formal procurement function was established to ensure transparency and alignment with government standards. We have made considerable progress in merging the BVI Electricity Corporation and Water and Sewage Department into a single statutory body. Draft legislation has been reviewed by Cabinet and is now in legal vetting, with resubmission to Cabinet and subsequent passage in the House of Assembly in the third quarter of 2025. The Ministry recently introduced a civil mitigation policy to enhance infrastructure management and ensure accountability. Approved by Cabinet in June 2024, the policy established a formal process for submitting requests for works to improve public infrastructure or private property negatively impacted by public infrastructure. Cabinet approved the strategic outline business case for the expansion of the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport, laying the foundation for a detailed business case and future implementation. The outline business case builds upon the previously approved strategic outline case and strengthens the case for investment through rigorous analysis across 5 key domains: strategic need, economic justification, commercial viability, financial affordability, and management delivery. The outline business case proposes an upgrade to accommodate larger aircrafts, essential for improving our international connectivity and enhancing travel efficiency. This transformational project aligns seamlessly with our National Sustainable Development Plan and our aspirations for tourism, economic diversification, and global competitiveness. The BVI Airports Authority achieved significant milestones that positioned it as a regional leader in aviation development. As mentioned earlier, visitor arrival numbers surged with increased airline services and infrastructure upgrades, including expanded arrivals and seating areas, improved capacity and travel experience. A new arrivals conveyor belt is being installed as part of a broader project to expand the arrivals area, increasing capacity and improving customer experience. Multiple capital works are progressing at the BVI Ports Authority, including the construction of a general cargo warehouse at Port Purcell, phases 3 and 4 of cargo dock apron repairs, and the rehabilitation of the Jahphix Dike ferry dock. The development of the Roadtown Jetty parking lot is pending approval, and online payment system integration for all services is ongoing, with completion anticipated by August. Under the Department of Motor Vehicles, digitization continues with the initiation of online payment for select services expected by the end of May. The DMV commemorated the territory's heritage through the release of special 70th festival license plates. The Telecommunications Regulatory Commission achieved significant milestones in 2024. It completed a 5-year strategic plan focusing on innovation, accessibility, regulatory reform, consumer empowerment, and organizational excellence. How are you feeling? Okay, good. We're halfway there. In 2024, we've done a lot. The Recovery and Development Agency continued implementation of 14 projects on behalf of government. These included the completed Jas Van Dyke Multipurpose Educational Facility, the Virgin Islands Law Enforcement Marine Base, His Majesty's Customs and the Immigration Department. The RDA also commenced implementation of 5 critical road infrastructure projects to improve access and safety across the territory. In addition to the aforementioned agricultural complex and farmers reservoir, ongoing projects to the RDA include the Immigration and Detention Center, the Road Town Partnership, and the BVI Health Services Authority infrastructure improvement projects, all expected to break ground before the end of 2025. The RDA also looks forward to bringing final solutions to bear on long-standing issues in the coming months, including completing the lighting at the A.O. Shirley Recreation Grounds and removing derelict vessels from the Seacoast Bay Harbor. Demonstrating my government's commitment to long-term sustainable development, we look forward to transitioning the RDA to the Virgin Islands Development Agency as a permanent body in the coming months. VIDA, in collaboration with the Ministries of Government, will focus on delivering a long-term sustainable approach in advancing our infrastructure and building our resilience. In April 2025, my government launched the Road Town Partnership, a public-private partnership to finally fix our capital. This initiative brings together the essential government agencies responsible for aspects of developing and maintaining the capital, the businesses that walk in and benefit from the capital, and the community that uses the capital. The goal of the RTP is to create a capital that reflects our collective vision using our collective resources. Development plans created over the years will be updated with public and expert input and executed under a coordinated and collaborative plan managed by the RTP Board of Public and Private Partners. Work on identifying projects will begin shortly after public and business consultation slated to begin in June. The health and well-being of our residents remain a top priority for my government. We are committed to enhancing the quality and accessibility of the healthcare services across the territory. Over the past year, we have made significant investments and advancements in our healthcare infrastructure and service delivery. A significant milestone in our commitment to healthcare advancement was the historic inauguration of the Ponce Health Sciences University School of Medicine, BVI. It's our first medical school. This momentous occasion marks a new chapter in the history of the Virgin Islands and represents a transformative step in our country's development, one which will have a profound and lasting impact on our territory. The establishment of the PHSU School of Medicine here in the BVI will not only provide opportunities for aspiring Virgin Islanders to pursue careers in medicine without having to leave their homeland, but will also contribute to the growth of a knowledge-based economy. In 2024, we finalized the National Social Protection Policy and Action Plan, alongside critical amendments to the public assistance legislation. These initiatives, developed in collaboration with key stakeholders, including UNICEF, aim to fortify the social safety nets, particularly for the vulnerable populations. Importantly, the policy framework integrates climate resilience and mental health considerations ensuring a more holistic and sustainable approach to social protection. A key milestone for the territory was the enactment of the Public Assistance Amendment Act 2024, which introduced enhanced benefits such as basic income grants, hardship allowances, and shock response grants to support individuals facing economic hardship. Under the revised public assistance program, beneficiaries now receive increased financial support that is aligned with inflation and economic challenges, ensuring the program's continued effectiveness as a reliable safety net for vulnerable individuals. The Social Development Department launched a financial literacy workshop to enhance the financial skills of public assistance recipients. Collaborating with the World Food Programme, they are finalizing a multi-sectoral shock responsive social protection manual, supporting streamlined service delivery and developing a comprehensive information management system. My government intends to establish a dedicated social assistance division to improve efficiency and responsiveness. We'll also expand the senior engagement program to Virgin Gorda, and residents of the Adina Donovan home will benefit from individualized physiotherapy services to improve their mobility and quality of life. My government's ongoing commitment to infrastructure development is evident in the continuous upgrades to healthcare facilities, community centers, and social housing. Over the past year, 3 social homes were completed, and the Adina Donovan home for the elderly underwent essential roof restoration works. Additional improvements will be made to the elderly home through a public-private partnership with Unite BVI Partners, which is supporting a kitchen upgrade at Adina Donovan home. The public tendering process has been initiated for establishing a transitional shelter in Long Look to provide temporary housing and support services for individuals that require such assistance as accommodation and support. My government has allocated $1 million for critical repairs and upgrades to the BVI Health Services Authority's physical infrastructure assets, slated for 2025. These include exterior paintings of the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital, installation of new hospital signage, and renovations to the Major Peebles Wing. Let's give that a round of applause. Properly recognize one of our former premiers. Public health advancement also remains a central focus. We ensure the recent passage of the Tobacco Products Amendment Act 2025, a significant step towards aligning the Virgin Islands with the WHO Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. This legislative reform lays the groundwork for the territory's eventual accession to international conventions, reinforcing our commitment to global best practice in tobacco control and public health protection. We successfully launched the CARE Certificate Program, which establishes a national standard for the training of community caregivers, and the BVI Moves program, which is a community-based movement initiative designed to tackle non-communicable diseases. Through the Environmental Health Division, the ministry trained over 4,000 food handlers, targeted training for early childhood practitioners to strengthen hygiene standards in child care settings across the territory, offered food handler training in Spanish, a strategic move to better serve the BVI's multilingual community. Finalization of the national medicines list is on the way. This list will ensure that our residents have equitable access to essential medicines, guided by international best practices. Collaboration continues with PAHO and CAFA to roll out the District Health Information System 2. This powerful platform will revolutionize disease surveillance, improve data management, and enable the establishment of robust disease registers, including the territory's first ever cancer registry. Over the past year, the BVI Social Security Board has embraced digital transformation, implementing a new modern and comprehensive enterprise administration system to offer e-services to beneficiaries. The Social Security Board has also launched a digital card renewal portal, which allows beneficiaries to submit applications online. Employers can also now upload remittance data directly to the online payment portal, improving efficiency and reducing the administrative burden. As part of its ongoing investment in affordable housing, the Social Security Board reports that approximately 1/5 of the Joes Hill Manor estate has been sold or is currently under contract to Virgin Islanders. Homes on the property remain available for purchase. The Social Security Board has entered into a heads of terms agreement with Ponce Health Sciences University to lease property on the Joes Hill Manor estate, enabling students enrolled in the university's medical program appropriate housing in the territory. The remainder of the property will remain accessible and available for home ownership opportunities for Virgin Islanders. Over the past year, my government implemented critical upgrades at His Majesty's Prison to improve safety and rehabilitation outcomes at this facility. These included modern radio and surveillance systems, kitchen renovations, sky training, and the introduction of new rehabilitation programs. Education is the compass of any nation. It not only points us forward, but guides how we get there. My government has been charting a bold course to reimagine learning, empower youth, and elevate sport across these Virgin Islands. Over the past year, our efforts have been intentional and transformative, as we've focused on our priority areas of infrastructure, professional development, and resources. In 2024, our government's educational initiatives focused on enhancing the curriculum with a strong emphasis on science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics education, transforming classrooms into hubs of innovation and creativity. In line with our STEAM mandate, a cohort of educators have begun an arts integration and STEAM certification at the master's level, designed to provide educators with advanced skills to effectively integrate the arts into core academic subjects, making learning more engaging, creative, and interdisciplinary for students. The Mathivated project, launched in September 2024, is empowering primary school teachers to teach mathematics more effectively, boosting student engagement and confidence. We have finalized a 5-year strategic staffing plan that will add over 80 vital positions across our schools, strengthening support, accountability, and student success. $2.5 million has been allocated this year to support critical upgrades. This summer, schools across the territory are scheduled to undergo essential works, including roof repairs, window and door installation, electrical upgrades, plumbing improvements, and the installation of backup generators. Safety enhancements and the installation of new security systems are also planned to ensure learning environments remain secure, resilient, and conducive to 21st century learning. We have also invested in classroom resources, including smart boards, computers, tablets, and robotics kits, fueling our culture of creativity. Nearly 70 educators have accessed advanced training and our revised compensation framework positions Virgin Islands teachers competitively regionally, helping us attract and retain top talent. My government also supported the professional development of our educators through the Let's Teach VI initiative, a collaboration between the Ministry of Education and the H. Lavity Stoutt Community College. In June 2024, 10 new teachers graduated from the Certificate in Teaching program, while 23 experienced educators are on the Certificate in Effective Leadership. An additional 12 educators also completed the Certificate in Secondary Education program, offered in collaboration with the University of the Virgin Islands. This year, the ministry will launch a new opportunity for in-service educators to earn their bachelor's degree in education through a strategic partnership between HLSCC and Walden University, allowing teachers to pursue higher qualifications while remaining in the territory. The transformative power of play in fostering environments where children thrive cannot be overstated. We introduced 5 brand new playgrounds to our schools, creating vibrant spaces designed to nurture and inspire structured play, which stimulate creativity, social interaction, and cognitive development, allowing students to engage in meaningful play while building essential life skills. the Department of Youth Affairs and Sports made remarkable progress in youth engagement and empowerment as well. The after-school program and summer camp reached our 400 young people, over 400 young people, providing essential skills, training, mentorship, and career guidance. With the help of local donors, we introduced coding and robotics classes for 10th grade students across the territory. By integrating this subject into the curriculum, we are equipping students with critical 21st century skills, preparing them for the rapidly advancing world of technology and innovation. The Robotics Mindset Summer Camp 2024 was well participated in by our young people, whose projects were displayed at a community robotic exhibition. The top students from the camp attended the first Global Robotic Challenge in Greece in September 2024. Team BVI placed 111 globally and 6 in the Caribbean region. Our investment in technology in the classroom creates opportunities for our students to embrace innovation and capitalize on rapidly evolving technologies of the future. The Virgin Islands is not the limit of their opportunities. Also, the Ministry of Education, Youth Affairs and Sports continues to make students' educational dreams come true through the scholarship program, which administered 27 scholarships in 2024 and helped dozens more through the grant program. A past recipient of the Virgin Islands Scholarship Program is Jordan Dawson. Jordan excelled academically, achieving a 4.0 GPA, summa cum laude at HLSEC, and being the salutatorian of Francis Lettsome Primary School. He scored in the 99th percentile on the SAT after improving his score by nearly 500 points through self-study. In 2025, he graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Mathematical Sciences and a minor in Computer Science from Florida International University, summa cum laude. He joined the Phi Beta Kappa Honor Society and was recognized as an outstanding graduate by the College of Arts, Sciences and Education. Post-graduation, Jordan will join Google's Associate Product Manager program, very exclusive program. Jordan will become the third student from his university to accomplish such a feat and the first Virgin Islander to do so. Let's give him another round of applause. Jordan, we're extremely proud. Thank you for representing us well. Investing in our youth and fostering international relationships are key to the Virgin Islands vision. We believe our young people are the future, and building partnerships with other nations is vital for growth. The BVI London office recently hosted the 2025 Overseas Territories Youth Summit, where young leaders address important issues and influence positive change. 30 athletes represented the territory at Carifta in Trinidad, earning 3 medals and personal bests, while our national chess team also impressed in their tournament in Trinidad. Let's give them a round of applause. My government continues to provide financial support through grants accessible to student athletes. Significant contributions have also been made to national sports associations, ensuring they have the resources to operate sustainably and grow their reach. The Elite Athlete Program provides targeted funding to support high-performing athletes competing at the international level, ensuring that Virgin Islanders have every opportunity to succeed in sport, from grassroots to global competition. As part of its long-term commitment to developing sports infrastructure, the Ministry of Education, Youth Affairs and Sports is moving to execute works with an allocation of approximately $850,000 for the maintenance and upgrade of recreational facilities throughout the territory. This investment is critical to ensuring that our athletes, teams, and communities have safe, accessible spaces to train, compete, and thrive. Additionally, Elmer Stout High School and the H. Lavity Stout Community College united to host the annual college fair, connecting students with higher education opportunities. The Eslin Henley Richer Learning Center is the first purpose-built special education facility in the OECS and is targeted for practical completion on June 30th. We are proud to have this historic reopening of the Eslin Henley Richer Learning Center and look forward to providing a permanent home for our special needs population. My government is committed to rebuilding the Altair Scatliff Primary School in its current location. The 5-year MOU was signed with the Unite BVI for its rebuilding, and plans are moving ahead to build a state-of-the-art modern school. And I've gotten a little sneak peek of the plans, and trust me, it's going to be awesome. HLSCC continues to align its offering with the needs of the modern workforce through programs that connect education directly to opportunity, designed around industry needs and international standards. These include the NCCER Core Construction and Concrete Training, which equips learners with the skills needed for the construction industry. The Marine Professional Training Program, offering hands-on experience and an 8-week paid apprenticeship with local marine businesses and advanced maritime safety training, now supported by a newly completed fire simulator facility. The college is also undergoing external program reviews and preparing for reaccreditation with the UK Maritime Coast Guard Agency, demonstrating its commitment to maintaining international standards while addressing local workforce needs. The ministry has given a clear mandate to HLSCC to pursue accreditation to support its evolution into a 4-year degree granting institution in strategic areas, expanding local access to higher education. My government's commitment to environmental sustainability continues to drive legislative and policy action. Over the past year, we have advanced the Blue Economy Roadmap, strengthened marine conservation policies, and expanded biodiversity preservation projects, ensuring that our natural heritage remains protected while creating new economic opportunities. Protecting our natural environment is of utmost importance. The Ministry of Environment, Natural Resources and Climate Change conducted a public consultation to develop new environmental legislation, ensuring that our policies reflect the values and priorities of our community. In 2024, to waste diversion and recycling programs, 52,000 pounds of scrap metal, 24,000 gallons of waste oil, and 29,754 pounds of plastics were successfully repurposed. The residential waste management program expanded to more communities, and the public bins program saw repairs and replacements across Tortola, Virgin Gorda, and Jas Van Dyke. Environmental sustainability remains a central focus for the government. Major strides were made in recycling and waste diversion, and a new derelict vehicle tracking system was introduced to manage removals. The Long Bay Beach Management Plan and related initiatives reinforce our dedication to responsible tourism, coastal protection, and environmental stewardship. We celebrated the planting of sea grape trees at Long Bay Beef Island, honoring Virgin Islanders and contributing to the restoration of our natural landscape. In 2024, we completed a European Union-funded project under Resilience, Sustainable Energy, and Marine Biodiversity, or RESEMBID, to improve marine water quality monitoring. The project developed a data collection manual, drafted a gap assessment and accreditation roadmap report, and provided GIS training through a workshop with the H. Lavity Stout Community College and CMEs. 5 laptops, GIS software, and the MV Vigilati vessel were acquired to expand geographic coverage. 2024 was the final year of the Darwin project. Funds from the Darwin Plus grant were allocated to assess reef conditions following the impacts of stony coral tissue loss disease and the 2023 bleaching event. The Environment Unit conducted surveys to evaluate coral reef status, benthic community composition, herbivorous fish populations, and invertebrates at 11 sites. This work was conducted in collaboration with Louisiana State University, Reefs Unknown based in St. Thomas, and Beyond the Reefs. Also in 2024, a series of consultations were held to review and update the Virgin Islands climate change policy, the supporting implementation plan that includes costed priority adaptation projects. The final policy update is expected to conclude in 2025. To fortify the administration of stewardship of our public lands, particularly concerning the allocation and management of Crown lands within our territory, the Crown Lands Management legislation was passed in the House of Assembly in June 2024. At its core, this legislation ushers in a new era of transparency, accountability, and efficiency in the utilization of our land resources, inclusive of sustainable use and environmental considerations. Over the years, there have been various breaches with projects under construction in the territory. The Town and Country Planning Department has recognized the need for strengthened legislation to provide the department with a legal framework to address violators in a timely manner. Following a successful fact-finding mission to Bermuda last year, where department officials saw the effectiveness of civil penalties and related fees, the department will be seeking in the coming year to amend the Physical Planning Act to introduce a similar regime to safeguard the quality of the outputs from the construction industry in the territory. Over the past year, the territory has undertaken significant governance reforms. The completion of the 48 recommendations from the Commission of Inquiry report and the government self-assessment report marks a pivotal moment in governance. With Cabinet's approval of a transition plan for institutionalizing reforms, educating the public, and making systemic changes in public service, the Virgin Islands is preparing for future self-governance. These reforms also strengthen the territory's position for constitutional negotiations and the potential removal of the order in council to partially suspend the Constitution. A strategy and policy development unit has been created in the Premier's office to coordinate the good governance standards of the ministry and the modern governance approach emanating from the implementation of the reforms. In an effort to provide guidance for the use of discretionary powers across government, the Discretionary Powers Guide provides a clear criteria for the exercise of discretionary powers, ensuring that they are used appropriately and responsibly, and sets out mechanisms to ensure accountability and transparency in decision making. Several training sessions have already been held to sensitize public officers on the policy, and the aim is to monitor on a quarterly basis the policy's implementation. A statutory board policy was developed to promote a more rational, organized, and standardized approach to the establishment, development, management, and oversight, and if necessary, dissolution of statutory boards to ensure that they are functioning for their primary purposes in the public interest. Together with a financial governance policy, these documents will serve as the tools by which the Premier's office will monitor adherence to good governance standards across statutory boards. To strengthen the legislative framework for statutory boards, 5 statutory board pieces of legislation were amended to enhance their governance standards and operations. These standards were used to strengthen the legislation for the following 5 statutory boards: the BVI Ports Authority, the Isla Vitistao Community College, the BVI Health Services Authority, the BVI Tourist Board, and the National Parks Trust Act. Enhanced provisions include board membership, qualification criteria, declarations of interest, oaths and confidentiality, codes of conduct, membership tenure and transition, gender-neutral language, and disclosure and conflicts of interest. Communication is key to transparent government. In 2024, my government successfully re-established the Department of Information and Public Relations, marking a significant organizational milestone. New positions have been created to support the future launch of the GIS TV programming initiative and to strengthen both the production and social media units. A new communication outlet has also been introduced through a dedicated WhatsApp channel, enhancing the accessibility and integrity of government information sharing. In line with these developments, the department is embarking on a comprehensive digitization project. This effort includes the preservation of archival materials, such as hard copy photo albums, brochures, and other visual content, along with cassettes of audio recordings from government events and speeches dating back to the late 1980s. In 2024, government issued a tender for the development of a comprehensive digital transformation strategy. This strategy will leverage digital technologies to enhance public services and drive the modernization of government services and digital public infrastructure. As the Town and Country Planning Department seeks to support the ongoing public service digital transformation initiative in 2025, the department will seek to procure an application tracking software which will seek to streamline approval processes for planning and permitting, replacing the outdated platform. This software will provide essential statistics for rapid sharing with various ministries and departments and facilitate direct and improved customer interactions. A request for proposal is being prepared with the hope of being completed within 3 weeks. The Department of Labor and Workforce Development launched the work permit feature of the labor management system. All applications are now paperless and online. Training workshops for employers and employees are ongoing with a dedicated support team available for assistance. Now the LMS modules like the payment portal and labor relations automation are being introduced. These updates mark significant progress for both the Department of Labor and the Territory. Work has been ongoing in collaboration with the International Labour Organization to develop a national employment policy. The NEP will ensure Virgin Islanders have a strong foothold in the evolving labour market. While labour workers remain crucial contributors to the territory, our NEP will strike a vital balance in cultivating a skilled and adaptable workforce while attracting specialized foreign talent to fuel economic diversification. To the Department of Labor and Workforce Development, my administration continues to offer robust support to job seekers through various programs, including resume writing, customer service training, and education on labor laws. These ongoing initiatives aim to increase job readiness and employment opportunities for residents across the territory. Considerable work was done to prepare for the increase to the minimum wage. Beginning on the 1st of July 2025, a new minimum wage of $7.25 will take effect. This initiative reflects my government's commitment to ensuring fair compensation for our workers, particularly those who are most vulnerable to economic pressures. Through extensive public consultation and dialogue, we have been able to appreciate the varying concerns from the different stakeholders, including business owners. Hence, the increase is being implemented in a phased approach, carefully considering the economic climate and potential impacts. Over the past year, the rated program continues to play a vital role in providing opportunities for persons to get employment and get on the path to developing greater earning potential. It has proven to be a good source of labor for roadside cleanup with the implementation of the registration and employment functions. We have now completed plans and will be soon executing the apprenticeship, training, and development functions to help more of these persons in the program transition to greater and more permanent opportunities. The adoption of the Immigration and Passport Amendment Act 2024 marked a significant milestone in reform in the process for awarding status in the territory. A residence and belanger status policy was developed and new guidelines published. We are able to achieve full compliance by commercial air and sea carriers with our advanced passenger information system. We began the redesign, development, and construction of the National Immigration Detention Center and enhanced protection of the territory's borders through innovative technology. During 2024, the Inland Revenue Department launched the payroll tax module of the recently upgraded SIGTAS 3.0 receivable system. Considerable effort has been made to ensure both individuals and enterprises are registered on the platform. As of April 2025, there are 20,027 individuals and 2,812 enterprises registered in the platform for payroll tax, hotel accommodation tax, motor vehicle tax rental, checks, check duty, and liquor licenses. Revenue collection for 2024 from these tax categories amounted to approximately 51 million. In 2025, the emphasis will be on ensuring that all taxpayers are registered on the system and improving collections. Our Treasury Department has made considerable progress towards completing the outstanding financial statements for years 2019 to 2022. These are expected to be forwarded to the Auditor General in the second quarter of this year. The work to complete financial statements for 2023 is currently underway. The Treasury Department has taken steps to align with our overall digital transformation strategy through the processing of payments to vendors via direct deposit in their bank accounts, which has significantly reduced the reliance on printed checks, thereby achieving cost savings. As a part of the online payment gateway, the Treasury Department, in partnership with the Department of IT, will be rolling out a new platform that allows global payments to government using debit and credit cards. The department also anticipates full deployment of a digital payment processing system and implementation of Check Plus to streamline disbursements. In 2024, the Virgin Islands Deposit Insurance Corporation began operations to protect depositors and ensure financial stability in the Virgin Islands. By July 2024, VDIC collected 4.3 million in premiums from 7 member banks with funds invested conservatively. In March 2025, VDIC became a full member of the International Association of Deposit Insurers. VDIC improved its governance by forming the Audit, Rules and Policy Committee and the Asset and Liability Committee in early 2025. A 6-month public awareness campaign will launch across the territory. As of February 25, 2025, the fund level is 6.65 million, establishing VDIC as a reliable safeguard for depositors and a key player in the Virgin Islands' financial stability. As a government, we recognize the need for serious investment in our public infrastructure, including roads, water supply and distribution networks, national sewage network, and other critical facilities. In response to the need, the government on the 31st October 2024 signed a loan facility with CIBC First Caribbean Limited for $100 million, which is the largest single loan in the history of the Virgin Islands. In addition, it's a lot of money. In addition to the benefits of having improved and sustainable public infrastructure, the loan is also expected to be a catalyst for economic activity throughout the territory. My government secured a sovereign rating of BBBA2 with a stable outlook from Standard & Poor's Global Rating, reflecting our investment in the territory's institutional framework and economic development, along with our commitment to accountability, transparency, and fiscal responsibility. This is an investment grade rating and something that we should be proud of. This achievement positions the BVI as a reliable hub for global financial services and enhances investor confidence. The credit rating offers benefits like lower borrowing costs for government projects, improved infrastructure and public services, and better access to financing for businesses in the BVI, fostering economic growth and market stability. We remain dedicated to maintaining long-term stability and leveraging this rating for future opportunities. Our commitment to building strong international relations has also been a key focus. I was honored as Premier to be elected President of the UK Overseas Territories Association, a role that will enhance cooperation among member territories. I'm also pleased to have served in various United Nations capacities, including Vice Chair of the United Nations Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, Chair of the ECLAC Associate Members Working Group, and Chair of the newly formed Caribbean Sub-Regional Sustainable Development Network. We continue to be engaged with the Caribbean community, most recently Deputy Premier and Minister for Environment, Natural Resources and Climate Change, represented the Virgin Islands at the 48th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community. in Bridgetown, Barbados. His attendance provided a vital platform for highlighting the Virgin Islands' commitment to regional collaboration and strengthening ties with other Caribbean nations. The Deputy Premier actively promoted the importance of enhancing economic resilience and fostering strategic partnerships, which will create avenues for investment and cooperation. Engaging with international leaders, including the UN Secretary General and the President of the European Commission, he advocated for the territory's interests on critical issues like regional security, agriculture, and climate change. As mentioned, through diplomacy, my government has been able to secure an agreement with our neighbor, the U.S. Virgin Islands, that clears the way for the BVI to move forward with revising and modernizing the 33-year-old commercial recreational vessel licensing fee structure, with minor adjustments in the spirit of regional partnership. Coming out of the discussions, the BVI and the USVI have reaffirmed reciprocal commitment to regional cooperation and maritime collaboration and a shared vision for a thriving charter industry and mutual economic prosperity. As the territory continues on its path towards self-determination, the Premier's office coordinated the visit of a United Nations mission to the Virgin Islands from the 26th to the 27th August 2024. The visiting mission engaged in a series of meetings with various stakeholders across the territory during their visits. Its aim was to gather information regarding the political, economic, social, and environmental conditions in the territory, with a focus on the constitutional review process and the territory's path towards self-determination. The report on the mission's findings stressed the importance of an inclusive, transparent process for determining the political future of the British Virgin Islands, with particular emphasis on the roles of youth, women, and all other stakeholders in shaping this future. In the role of sustainable development and planning, the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Sustainable Development led cross-government engagement to implement the National Sustainable Development Plan. It piloted an internal framework that aligns ministerial policies and budgets with the 6 national goals and 17 national outcomes, positioning the ministry as a model for strategic policy coherence. We also established a sustainable development working group and facilitated training sessions to build internal capacity for monitoring and evaluating progress on key national outcomes. The NSDP has been mainstreamed into national policy. The Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Sustainable Development also strengthened its engagement with external partners through continued work with regional agencies such as the United Nations Resident Coordinator's Office, the OECS and CARICOM. We have advanced our access to technical support for sustainable development financing and national planning reform. At the local level, the ministry improved transparency to its new internal policy dashboard, ensuring greater monitoring of project timelines, procurement readiness, and spending. My government remains steadfast in our commitment to modernizing and strengthening the public sector. In the past year, we have expanded the Customer Service Care Center, launched the Retire Ready program to prepare eligible public officers for a smooth transition into retirement, and passed the Public Service Management Act 2024, laying the foundation for an efficient, transparent, and responsive public service. The enactment of the Public Service Management Act introduced a robust legislative framework, enabling government offices to streamline processes, enhance accountability, and improve service delivery. Since the inception, my government has ramped up the passage of a suite of legislative reforms to strengthen its governance, financial services sector, social protection, and environmental preservation, among other objectives. Some of these pieces of legislation stem from recommendations of the Commission of Inquiry and the Review on Law Enforcement, but it is important to mention that many of the reforms were either previously in train or resulted from government's focus to strengthen its systems and governance structures through reform. In December 2024, the Cabinet approved the amendments of the threshold values in Regulation 9 of the Public Procurement Regulations from 10,000 to 25,000 and 100,000 to 250,000. These amendments were key to promoting public confidence in the integrity of the procurement process, particularly in the length of time taken to procure low-valued goods, works, and services. The amendments also provide small-scale and new contractors with the opportunity to participate in public procurement, thus strengthening our commitment to a fair and transparent procurement process. My government remains committed to fulfilling our constitutional responsibilities in law enforcement and justice. This requires providing funding and other forms of support to initiatives, even those that are constitutionally reserved to the governor. We have emphasized justice and national security through strategic workforce planning in law enforcement agencies, expanding CCTV surveillance in Tortola and Virgin Gorda has improved crime prevention and response. Major crime crackdowns, firearm seizures, and restorative justice initiatives have made communities safer while promoting rehabilitation. The new Magistrates Court opening in April 2024 and recruitment of judicial personnel highlight our dedication to timely justice. How are you feeling? Over the past year, my government has remained steadfast and resolute in our pursuit and commitment to building a sustainable nation. In 2024, we planned, prioritized, and progressed the agenda of the people of the Virgin Islands and set the foundation for success. In 2025, we began laying the blocks of success following the blueprint of the National Sustainable Development Plan. Our story has been one of challenges met with ingenuity and opportunities seized with vision. The same vision that the late H. Laverty Stout admonished us to pursue. A vision where each succeeding generation moves the territory closer to realizing its full potential. As we enter our third year, our mission remains clear: to build a resilient nation where progress is sustainable, development is inclusive, and every Virgin Islander thrives. My government and I reaffirm our commitments to stability, prosperity, and national strength, ensuring that the Virgin Islands remains resilient, forward-thinking, and prepared for the future. These are the blocks of success, and we will continue to lay them throughout 2025. In closing, I want to express my sincere gratitude to the members of this administration. I'm inspired by your vision, your commitment, and your focus. I want to thank our dedicated public officers, the Financial Secretary and the Permanent Secretaries, your respective teams, every employee of the ministries and the departments, our statutory boards, our committees and commissions, the Cabinet Office, Cabinet Secretary, I see you, the Attorney General's chambers, and of course I saw the Speaker of the House of Assembly earlier. I want to acknowledge the work of the House of Assembly, those who serve on the judicial branch of government. To every Virgin Islander, resident, business, and partner, every civic society who has contributed to the progress of our territory, I say thank you. As we look to the future, let us continue to work together with unity, purpose, and a shared vision for a stronger, more prosperous Virgin Islands. This has been the key to our progress over the past 7 years of adversity. Let us continue to embrace the goodness of God and seek always to find the good in each other and in every challenge we encounter. With the strength and resilience and faith and courage of our ancestors guiding us and living within us, we will get there together. Thank you, and God bless these beautiful Virgin Islands.
Thank you very much, Premier. There is no one on this planet, you may say it, who can speak for almost 2 hours and their voice does not go down. So give it up to the Premier, because I'm not sure how he does it, but thank you very much. I also want to say a special thanks to some of the little kids that are still here that came right from school. Those kids are so well behaved. The little tiny one in the yellow shirt. Who's the tiny one? Little tiny princess, come stand up. Who's her mommy? Yes, you know it's you, correct. Y'all give her a round of applause. And get her a snack quick. She hungry. I could see she need a little Oreo cookie. Somebody give her a little cookie quick. Anyhow, we want to say PG 1454 and F-150 red truck been blocking for the last 2 hours. We didn't want to cut the Premier off, so red F-150. I'm going to ask you to really put your hands. We're going to change the program just a little bit, just for time. April Glasgow, a poet, somebody who's dear to the Premier's heart. As you know, he is also a poet. We wanted to bring a little bit of poetry in here. I know it's been a long day, but we're almost there. Put your hands together for Miss April Glasgow as she comes quickly with the energy.
We are safe, we are protected, we are loved. You are safe, you are protected, you are loved. I am safe, I am protected, I am loved. We are all colors. The energy God summoned when he said, let there be light. And that's just how God sees us. Human. Glorious in all our hues. That's why they say when we speak with a lot of color in our voice and paint each other with our behavior. We are the brush that God used when he made this world, all delightful, pure, and holy. That's why we're all here, to show everyone just how bright this world is because of us all. We are all colors. The frequency that God tells the sun and the trees and the people to match, some rise to the occasion and brighten their corner of the universe, and others just don't listen to understand that while each color is beautiful on its own, we're so much more beautiful together. We are the way God splashes motion into spirit to say, you see how you're feeling right now? That's me. Or he says, look me here on the seat the day God told all his creations to rest. Where do you go when you're tired of shining? Go back inside God's chest to sit in the cleft of his rock to be polished. We are all colors. The declaration that God delights in what he has made. The first gift God ever gave. God is not just the giver of the blessing. God is the blessing. And he loves the colors. Every last one. We are the first beloved by God. So let our ministry be love. To know that we together in ways only we can understand, and God. And that's a good thing. We are a good thing. We are all colors. The rainbow ribbon wrapping his glory. The audience gathered around the throne of God. The revelation of God's love in flesh. The revelation of God's love in flesh. The first prayer to be spoken by God. So let us use our words to call in God. Let us all pray to be watchful. To be watchful. And keep watching God. And keep watching God. And keep watching God.
Okay, as I said, we're going to just change a little bit of the program, and we're going to invite P.S. Abbott to do the vote of thanks. This is a place of God, so please, y'all, don't leave until the benediction. And of course, we have some fancy words. He was like, what's capers? We're going to have some capers and conversations to the end, where you will get to just say hello a little bit to the ministers, do a little small talk. The program is basically finished. Keep to the end. There's still some surprises. Please put your hands together for our permanent secretary, Mr. Joseph Smith Abbott.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the premiers and the government of the Virgin Islands, I extend heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you who made this territorial address a meaningful and memorable occasion. To the premier and his office, our ministers, members of government, and your gracious spouses, thank you for your continued leadership and commitment to these Virgin Islands. Special thanks to the permanent secretaries under the Premier, Mrs. Carolyn Stout-Igwe, Mrs. Sophia Berkeley, and I who humbly serve, the Financial Secretary, Mr. Jeremiah Fred, the Chief of Staff, Mr. Kedrick Malone, and to the permanent secretaries and heads of departments throughout the public service who contributed to the achievements just reported. Your steady guidance helps to shape our progress. We're also grateful to Acting Director of Communication, Mrs. Carrie Christopher, the Premier's communication team, protocol team, and the Government Information Services for ensuring that today we seamlessly executed and widely shared this event. To our educators and students, Principal Mrs. Vanessa Garraway and the Elmo Stout High School, Principal Mrs. Letitia Penn Rogers and the Virgin Islands School of Technical Studies, Principal Mrs. Mr. Waytobin and the BVI Seventh-day Adventist School, Principal Mr. Scott Crawford and the Cedar International School, Principal Mrs. Odalis Gonzalez and the St. George's Secondary School, Principal Ms. Sharia DeCastro and the Imagination Academy, as well as the Willard Wheatley Enos Adams Primary School, Ebenezer Thomas Primary, and Ivan Dawson Primary. Your presence today was a reminder of why we do what we do. You are the future of the territory, and we thank you. We acknowledge the contributions of Maria's by the Sea, Pastor Ray Edwards, Mr. Raul Sprov, and Homegrown Studios, Bella Blooms, Thea Cook and Band, Miss Abigail Christopher, Miss April Glasgow, DJ McMillie, and Creative Arts. Thank you for your time, your talent, and your support. To ZBVI, the media, and all of our attendees, thank you for being here and staying engaged with this vision and future of our territory. Together we continue to move forward stronger and united, and we thank you, and may God bless these Virgin Islands.
That went very quickly. Keep your hands together and continue with a round of applause for Acting Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Sophia Berkeley. She will bring us our benediction. This will be the last time you hear my voice for a minute. After Sophia, you will have your refreshments and you will listen to the beautiful songs of Tia Cook and friends. Remember, great refreshments. We're going to call them canopies, and you get to have a quick conversation with your ministers and give them a little piece of what you need to say. Put your hands together really again for Mrs. Sophia Berkeley.
Please stand as we close. I can take this off. Let us pray. Most holy and gracious God, we thank you for this evening's proceedings. God, we thank you for the government of the Virgin Islands. Father God, even though we ask that you bless us and keep us, you cause your face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. You lift up your countenance upon us, and may you grant us your everlasting peace. Even as we prepare to depart to our individual homes, God, we ask you to cover us, that you continue to grant us traveling mercies. All the glory, honor, and praise belong to you for all that has been accomplished. And we give you thanks in Jesus' name. Amen.